council archivist, matching ancient prophecy texts to recent footage of a human admiral, realizes the departed ones who built the galaxy's foundations, vanished 1,000,000 years ago, are back. On the temple world Yorun, archivist Kale worked alone, his stone desk awash in holographic scrolls.
Diplomatic footage for the War Committee. Routine. Until one frame stopped his breath.
The Admiral's uniform seal matched a glyph on a 900,000-year-old funerary urn.
That is not possible.
He magnified both. 3 interlocking circles, a 7-pointed sun, identical down to the etching depth. His pulse hammered as he ran the recognition scan. 10 confirmations. No glitch.
No species carries a 1,000,000-year-old trademark by coincidence.
He closed the war files. Some truths were older and more dangerous than any council vote.
The departed ones are not just history. They're here.
Kale forced his hands steady and accessed the forbidden archive, restricted anatomical records of the departed.
If the seal is true, then their bones should speak the same language.
He retrieved a cranial scan from the human diplomatic packet. Then, with trembling fingers, he overlaid it onto a departed statue's skull projection.
99.7% congruence. Not a descendant, a twin.
He ran the comparison again, swapping reference sets. The result held like a verdict.
The Council thinks humans are a primitive species. They're about to vote for war against them.
He checked the Council's schedule. The war resolution would be put to a voice vote in 3 hours.
3 hours to prove that declaring war on them is suicidal, or worse.
He pulled the ancient prophecy texts. Next, he would compare speech patterns, gestures, anything that might survive 1,000,000 years.
If their bones match, their language will. This isn't a coincidence anymore. It's a warning.
Kale loaded the ancient departed chants and a sample of human admiral speech. He ran the rhythm analyzer.
If the cadence matches, it will be proof beyond forgery or chance.
The waveform overlay aligned with perfect precision, identical pause patterns, tonal rises, and vowel lengths.
It's not just language, it's a fingerprint of thought. No two species evolved this independently.
He pulled up the treaty footage. The Admiral sealed the pact with a 3-fingered spiral motion. A departed carving showed the same gesture, frozen for 1,000,000 years.
3 matches. Bones, seals, speech, and gesture. Species don't share that without direct lineage.
He checked the prophecy. A highlighted line glowed. They shall return when the children are grown.
The vote is in 90 minutes. I have to get to the Council. Now?
He copied the evidence to a portable projector and stood abruptly, his chair scraping the ancient stone.
They'll dismiss me as a mad scholar. But if I am right, the galaxy burns.
He grabbed the projector and burst through the towering archive doors, his scholar's robe billowing. The corridor of echoes stretched ahead, ancient runes blurring past as he sprinted.
Out of my way, emergency.
He slammed into a temple guard, sending a datapad skittering. Kale didn't stop. His lungs burned as he pushed harder. The council building loomed distant, a monolith against the twin moons. He risked a glance at his chrono. 30 minutes until the war vote.
30 minutes? I won't make it if the guard detail stops me.
He cut left into a narrower passage, dodging acolytes and ancient pedestals.
Keep moving. The truth is in your hands, Kale. Don't let them do this.
2 temple guards blocked the narrow passage, crossing their spears.
I am Archivist Kale. Let me through. This is an emergency.
He thrust his ID chip at them, pointing desperately toward the distant council spire.
They can see my clearance. Why are they delaying me?
One guard's hand clamped around Kale's arm, his grip iron.
Unhand me. This is an outrage. I report directly to the Council.
Kale wrenched his arm free and stumbled forward, dropping the projector as he fell against the wall. He sprinted to the next security door and slammed his palm on the scanner. The door hissed open, and he threw himself through, leaning against the cool stone on the other side.
Lost minutes. The vote won't wait. If I stop again, I am done.
Kale pushed off the wall and sprinted towards a hidden archivist's passage, a forbidden shortcut.
If I trigger the old wards, they'll detain me, but I have no other choice.
He climbed over a pile of debris and ducked into the darkness. Instantly, ancient runes blazed red along the walls.
I've memorized these old triggers. 3 pulses, then the Nexus rune.
He pressed a rapid glyph combination on the door. The alarm died, but echoes lingered.
The Council will now hear the motion for war with Earth.
Number. I am still too far. They're starting without me, and I have the proof.
Kale sprinted harder. The golden light of the council chamber, bleeding through the corridor's end. He could see the massive doors, slightly ajar, delegates' murmur spilling out.
I am almost there. Just a few more seconds. Hold on.
Kale caught himself on the cold antechamber wall, gasping. 2 ceremonial guards stood like statues before the council doors.
You must let me through. I have evidence that will overturn the war motion. I am Archivist Kale.
One guard reached for him. Kale ducked low, dodging the grip, and slammed his full weight against the heavy doors. With a grinding groan, the doors swung inward. Kale stumbled into the vast council chamber, a shaft of golden light enveloping him. Delegates swiveled in their seats, a wave of irritation spreading across the tiered rows.
All in favor of the resolution for war with Earth. Raise your hands at once.
It's begun. I can see hands starting to rise. There's no time left.
100 hands lifted in unison, a silent tide of condemnation.
Now, scream. It's the only chance.
Kale's chest expanded. The projector clenched in his fist. He opened his mouth.
Wait.
But his voice was swallowed by the overwhelming thunder of 100 raised hands. The delegates had already committed. A forest of limbs sealed the war resolution. Speaker Voron's ceremonial gavel, already descending, caught the golden light like a falling blade. In that suspended instant, Kale saw the engraved block waiting, the air dense with irrevocable finality.
The resolution passes.
The gavel struck. A sharp crack echoed through the vaulted chamber, severing all hope. The vote was irreversible. Kale's outstretched hand dropped, the scream stillborn in his throat.
It's over. They've declared war on the old gods, and I was too slow to stop it.
The chamber erupted in murmurs, but Kale stood frozen, a ghost among the living, his evidence clutched in his trembling hand. Some delegates shouted for order. Others demanded the intruder be removed.
You don't understand. The departed ones, they're human.
He fumbled with the portable projector, fingers shaking as he activated the primary comparison file. A massive hologram bloomed above the council floor, the ancient funerary urn glyph beside the human admiral's seal. Lines connecting identical arcs. Several delegates leaned forward, their murmurs shifting from anger to confusion.
This is a pattern reaching back 1,000,000 years. Humans are not primitive. They are the departed.
Speaker Voron slammed his lower hands on the podium, bringing a sudden hush.
Guards, remove this madman. The Council has spoken.
2 ceremonial guards pushed through the stunned delegates, reaching for Kale's arms. The projector was snatched from his hand, the hologram flickering out, plunging the chamber back into shadow and silence.
Look at the skull proportions, the departed gesture. It's undeniable. Humans are not what you think.
The guard's grip crushed Kale's arms, cutting off his air. His desperate plea strangled into a weak gasp.
Enough. This Council has spoken. The war resolution is final. Remove him.
They dragged Kale backward across the polished floor, his robe tearing at the shoulder seam, his heels scraping. A datapad slipped from his torn sleeve. It shattered on the stone, the glyph comparison glitching once before going dark.
When the first human warship darkens their skies, they'll remember this moment and weep.
The speaker moved to the next item. Delegates shuffled papers, their minds already on logistics, not prophecy. The heavy doors boomed shut behind him. Kale was shoved into the cold antechamber, breathing hard. Through the doors, the drone of the session resumed, a cold indifference that cut deeper than any spear.
I was too late. The galaxy will pay for my slowness.
Kale stumbled through the archive doors, his torn robe dragging. The sanctum that once felt like purpose now felt like a tomb. He collapsed onto his stone chair, head sinking into trembling hands.
Everything was lost. The war vote, my reputation, the truth, all buried under ignorance.
In a daze, he reactivated the ancient prophecy scroll, the same lines he'd memorized, but something caught his eye. The line read, "They departed not to die, but to become something new, a seed planted in the soil of a younger son."
I missed it. Everyone missed it. They didn't vanish. They planned to return.
He pulled up the original translation notes. 1,000-year-old scholarly debate had hidden the true meaning.
Humans are not their descendants. They are the same species, deliberately set apart to grow.
The prophecy's hidden clause hummed with new life. They left to let the galaxy mature without their shadow.
They chose to leave. They wanted to evolve. And now they're back. And we just declared war.
Kale's hands were shaking as he overlaid the human evolutionary timeline onto the departed migration map.
200,000 years ago, humans supposedly appeared, but the genetic markers scream far older.
The timeline split. Human recorded history was a thin sliver on a colossal, hidden continuum stretching back 1,000,000 years.
They didn't forget their past. They veiled it. The prophecy mentions a great veiling. This is it.
He cross-referenced departed DNA with raw human genomic data. The ancestral lineage was unbroken, a single continuous chain.
They are not a descendant colony. They are the original seed, replanted to grow in isolation.
A cold dread crept up his spine. The Council didn't declare war on a primitive race. They declared war on the architects of galactic civilization.
And we handed them the first strike as a gift.
He pulled up the prophecy again. The line about returning when the children are grown now read like a verdict.
The galaxy is a garden, and the gardeners just came back to find the weeds burning their roses.
And the prophecy continued. When the children have built their own empires and lit their own stars, the departed shall walk among them again to see what they have built.
That timing, human first contact with the Council, was exactly 300 years after they achieved interstellar flight.
He verified the dates. The prophecy's window closed perfectly around Earth's sudden, quiet emergence onto the galactic stage.
They came back exactly when they said they would, and we greeted them with a battle fleet. We just declared war on the gods.
The archive seemed to leach warmth, its ancient stones suddenly feeling like a mausoleum.
The Council made its choice. There's no reversing the vote. I am holding the truth that could save us, and no one will listen.
He stared at the glowing prophecy. The words weren't a warning anymore. They were a countdown.
And the countdown hit 0 the moment the gavel struck.
Kale pressed his forehead against the cold stone desk, the weight of 1,000,000 years settling on his shoulders, far from Yoran. In a dim office, overlooking Earth's glittering night, Admiral George sat alone, watching a delayed feed of the Council vote. He leaned forward, weathered fingers hovering over the controls, and zoomed in on the alien archivist screaming at the gavel.
Almost.
He opened a secure file labeled Contingency Protocols. Knowledgeable individuals. Kale's face appeared. A profile floated. Kale, archivist, Yoran. Threat level, knowledge, status, isolated.
A good man, a rare mind. Almost connected the dots before the Council sealed everyone's fate.
He initiated the protocol. On the screen, a single command glowed. Relocation offer, priority. The protocol would ping Kale's personal console, a silent lifeline to the only being on Yoran who knew the truth. George turned to the window, Earth's blue curve reflecting in his eyes.
He almost made it. Now, we'll see if he's as smart as we think.
A soft chime broke the archive's silence. Kale's personal console blinked with a priority alert.
No one pings me here. This console is private.
He opened the message. A human insignia materialized, the same seal he'd matched hours ago.
They know. They're already watching.
The text read, Archivist Kale, your knowledge has put your family at risk. War is inevitable. We offer sanctuary. A relocation protocol awaits your family on a protected world. Respond within 1 hour.
An hour. They're not leaving me time to think. This is a rescue or a trap. Why would they offer this? I am the one who tried to expose them.
He leaned back, heart pounding. The same beings who built the galaxy had just offered his family a lifeboat.
Mira, Era, I have to show them this. But how can I trust them?
Kale burst through the door of their simple stone dwelling. Mira looked up from the hearth, alarm flaring in her dark eyes.
Kale, you're shaking. What's wrong?
He thrust his data pad toward her. The human insignia pulsed softly, the offer still open.
Sanctuary, the humans. Kale, is this real?
Father, are we leaving? I don't want to leave home.
Little one, the Council started a war with beings who built the stars. This world, its temples, its fields, could burn.
If the Council strikes Earth, the humans will strike back. Yoran won't be spared. Our only chance is this offer, if it's real.
They could be lying, but what is the lie worth if staying means Era's death?
Kale pictured the tranquil blue world the message described, a sanctuary untouched by war, orbiting a quiet sun.
Kale, look at our daughter. If there is any chance she survives this, we must take it. We can decide no other way.
Kale left Mira and Era walking through the temple corridors back to the archive. The night air was cold, the stars indifferent. He pushed open the heavy archive doors. Inside, the grand hall stood silent, its ancient stones like witnesses to his final act.
All these texts, I won't see them again.
He knelt at his console, powering it on one last time. The recording function blinked, waiting.
If anyone finds this, humanity is the departed. They left and have returned.
He pulled up the relocation offer. The accept button glowed softly. His hand hovered. With a deep breath, he pressed it. A confirmation pulse rippled across the network, silent and final.
Forgive me, Yoran.
He stood, looking back at the archive. The glow of prophecy still flickered on his face. Then he turned away, leaving the door ajar, the truth sealed in his log. At a secluded landing pad beyond the temple spires, Kale, Mira, and Era huddled in travel robes under a star-scattered sky. A shimmer, then a sleek human shuttle materialized out of the darkness, its hull absorbing starlight.
There it is.
It's so quiet.
Kale hesitated at the ramp, one hand on the cold metal, the other holding his family close. One step, then another. The ramp sealed behind them with a soft hiss. Inside, a hologram flickered, Admiral George, his weathered face calm.
Welcome, Archivist Kale. You chose wisely. Your family is under humanity's protection now.
The shuttle lifted, silent as a thought, leaving the temple lights of Yoran shrinking below. Kale watched the world he'd served grow small through the viewport, his family's hands in his. Yoran shrank in the viewport, its temple lights fading to sparks, a whole world shrinking into a fading memory, beautiful and gone.
Will we ever come back, Father?
I don't know. Little one. Some things you never come back from, even if you return.
What will happen to us? To Yoran? I need to understand. Kale?
The hologram of Admiral George solidified beside them, his voice a calm, ancient tide.
We left 1,000,000 years ago to let your civilizations grow freely, without the shadow of our presence. Now we return not as conquerors, but as gardeners checking their garden to see what our children have built.
Kale leaned forward, the prophecy's final pieces clicking into place as the old one spoke.
So the war vote, it changes nothing?
It changes everything, but it will not touch Yoran. We protect those we can, and we always will.
A gardener's mercy. The Council could never comprehend what they were trying to destroy.
In his quiet office, Admiral George marked Kale's file, resolved, and closed the folder with a soft thud. A junior officer, young, with too much ambition, hesitated at the door, then asked if Kale's near success was a risk.
He was doing his job. He's a good man. That's why we offered him a way out, and he took it.
Without waiting for a response, George opened a secure channel and began typing. Humanity extends a hand of peace. But be advised, we are far older and more patient than your council could ever imagine. He sent the message with a single click, then turned to face the window, Earth's bright curve filling the dark office.
Almost.
The word hung in the silence, a requiem for a decision that had almost gone differently. He would allow the council, their posturing, their war preparations. It would change nothing. Humanity had waited 1,000,000 years. They could wait a little longer. The shuttle descended through a sky dusted with alien clouds, settling onto a gentle green hill under a golden sun.
After so much darkness, this light feels like forgiveness.
The ramp lowered, and they stepped out onto soft grass, the air sweet and warm.
It's beautiful.
We're here, Kale. We're really here.
Ada broke free of her mother's grip, dashing into the tall grass, her laughter like tiny bells. Kale watched her, his daughter, running carefree on a world that wasn't his, but was safe.
The weight of the archive, the council, the prophecy, all of it, fading like the temple lights.
He looked up at the unfamiliar stars, the constellations of a new home, and felt the guilt loosen its hold. Then, for the first time in days, Kale smiled. In his office, Admiral George stood silhouetted against the curve of Earth's night, the city lights glittering like an ancient constellation. He picked up Kale's folder from the desk, the weight of its resolution almost imperceptible. He slid it into a drawer marked Resolved, the soft click echoing in the silence.
He almost made it.
The words hung in the still air, carrying the weight of 1,000,000 years of waiting. Outside the window, Earth turned slowly in the blackness, a blue jewel that had seen civilizations rise and fall for eons. Admiral George remained at the window, a guardian watching over a garden that had just begun to bloom. The story of Kale had closed, a single thread in a tapestry millennia long. But the galaxy would remember. The old gods were real, and they had returned one heartbeat too late. Fade to black.